Hey guys, Steve Zonardo here with Remax West Zonardo Associates. Happy Monday morning. Just a real quick update on the market. Current inventory, we're at 14,078 units. And if you can see every week when we do report, we're up 1,000 since last week. So last week we broke the 13,000 threshold. This week we broke the 14,000 threshold. And I think this is going to repeat itself all the way through to July, August. And again, this is going to be a normal market when we reach that 16, 17,000 units. So nothing to be totally concerned about. Sales last week dipped a bit by 200 units, so instead of 1,400, it was 1,200. So nothing really there to that's going to create a detriment or the your property not selling. The media hasn't released any more detrimental, or the government hasn't released any more detrimental concerns to the market. Obviously, all the damage was done earlier this month, and the media's ran off with it naturally. Everywhere you turn, it's something about the market dropping, 25%. Sales are down 40%. Everything is like, it's a typical media, right? That just spin absolute negativity and put a lot of fear in people's minds. And this is what the calls that I'm getting by buyers and sellers are all fearful on, what's the state of the market. And actually I've been calling for this for like 60 days, so it's nothing that I've this is all new to me. So I kind of been warning everybody as we were buying and selling that this was going on in the background. Now it's out in the open, so I'm getting a lot more calls for information I released like 60 days ago, but it's all good. As you know, me personally, I am unloading a lot of my Canadian assets here, Canadian real estate. We sold 50% of what we need. We need sell another 50% of what we have on the market currently right now. But the important ones are sold. And not to mention, my primary residence is sold on Friday, which is awesome. So 6 days on the market. We got it off the market, which is awesome because it was a little nerve-wracking. We're in that price range between the 2.2 to 2.5 range. So it's not ultra luxury, but it's obviously it's pricey, right? And going to market, we were going to market in Nobleton. We're at King Country Estates. There's usually like maybe a few listings, maybe one or two, but nothing's really direct comparison or direct competition. And coming to the market now, like not just in our particular area, but all of Nobleton is like 28 listings available. And at our price range, there's maybe 5 properties that someone else can choose instead of ours, which is huge competition for Nobleton. So we had to obviously price it strategically, and in a market like this, everyone says, "Oh, you can't sell. You can sell. Do it." With all the real estate coaching I've done in the last 10 years, is basically as long as you have more features and benefits and a better price than your next competitor, you're going to sell before them. And we just proved that fact currently right now. Thank God all this Mike Ferry training back in the day, but ultimately. So we go to the market, we have these three Muskoka models competing against us that are the most desirable layout in the area. They're great. They got, big size rooms, the kitchen's in the right spot. It's fantastic. So I'm always handicapped there because their property has a better layout and everything. But ultimately, our property, what we did is, and I knew our house had corks, but during the years I renovated to better it for my personal stay in the house, and obviously it's going to translate to the new buyer. Because every time you're doing a renovation, I always say it like think of resale, and this is what we did. So basically, we utilized the area to 100% maximum. So it's always like, yeah, this room doesn't work, but you got 2 other rooms that do work. So it's one of those situations, and this is what actually asked the buyer on Friday, and all the renovations we did to the property actually got them to pull the trigger on it, which was awesome, and I'm grateful for it. But going back to listing the property, so we were going to go list it at $2,450,000 because all these Muskoka models were at that 2.6 range, 2.680 or something like that. And then obviously we were finishing off some renovations. We couldn't get to the market soon enough, and then those Muskoka models just dropped like 200K. So they dropped 200 G's right off the top at 2,468. So now for me, being a not as desirable model to list at 2,450, I'm being obviously an unrealistic seller. So we have to do an adjustment there down. So what we did is we adjusted the price down to 2,388. Obviously we undercut the better model. We have more features and benefits than them because our finishes in the basement and stuff like that, and the utilizations of rooms, everything's kind of at 100%. So the good thing is we got it done. So we listed at 2,388. We sold it for 2.3 million, which I'm absolutely happy about because that number is basically more than I ever thought this house was going to be worth. It's up 58% since we purchased the property. We're going to make an $850,000 capital gains free check at the end of that, which is quite awesome. So we're ecstatic about that. And then if you kind of look at the height of the market, we would have listed at 2.5 and change, maybe 2.520 or 2.499, and maybe sold for 2.450. So let's say the market value at the height was 2.450. We really only took down about 6% since the height of the market. So I'm actually quite happy with that, because if you look at the media, they're talking it's 22% down on values and everything's gone to shit. But ultimately, just to not lose because it's never my money, but down 6% from the top of the market, I'm extremely happy with that. I can't complain. And we only took down 3% off of asking, and we did it in 6 days. So while other listings in the area that my direct competitors are 45 days plus. So that's obviously a concern when I'm in the last 30 days. There hasn't been any sales like mine. Let's just say that in the last 30 days, nothing has sold similar to my property. So we have to be realistic with price going forward. Even now, going on listing appointments, we had to refuse a few of them because I'm not going to take listings that are going to sit in the market and frustrate the sellers, and also a lot of pressure back on me because the expectations will never be met if I'm being honest and truthful in the beginning and talking about the market and talking about the value of their home up front. I'm doing my job as a professional, and if they need to sell, then they'll take my information, hire me as a realtor. If not, then they'll get blown up by another agent, put on the market at a really, really high price, unrealistic price, sit for 30, 60, 90 days, and then fire them, hire another agent, and then so on. And maybe they do call me back, or maybe they don't because of ego. So I don't know. So just take it from my property how we did it. Well, obviously, this is the way we are listing current properties in the market now with sellers. We're not listening at yesterday's prices. We're being competitive. We're looking at data daily. We're making adjustments weekly. So this is the only way to get this market. And just remember, we have not hit the bottom yet. So this is I kind of make this analogy where it's the Titanic that hit the iceberg, and for some strange reason it was split, but it kept and it was just floating for some strange reason for a couple hours after it hit this berg. So just think of that, like we're still floating. The market has totally stopped. It's rescending, and there's going to be some sort of drop in the near future. So if you do lose like 6 to 10% off of the height of the market, who cares? It was never your money, because if it was your money, you would have cashed out at that time. So think about that. That's it, guys. Have an amazing day. If you have any questions, always reach out. Ciao.